Nibi floated gently across the bright white meadow, happily bouncing from one soft cloud-shaped stone to another. Suddenly, a tiny glowing bubble drifted past, making Nibi's eyes sparkle with excitement as curiosity led the way. Nibi carefully followed the floating bubble through colorful flowers that gently swayed in the breeze. The bubble danced left and right, inviting Nibi into a cheerful little adventure filled with wonder and playful discovery. The glowing bubble became trapped beneath a giant flower petal. Nibi softly pushed the petal upward with a gentle bounce until the bubble floated free again, twinkling happily in the warm morning sunlight. The grateful bubble circled around Nibi, leaving behind tiny sparkling stars. Nibi laughed silently, spinning with joy, while magical light shimmered across the peaceful meadow, and butterflies fluttered all around. The bubble suddenly floated toward a tiny rainbow bridge stretching over a little stream. Nibi carefully crossed behind it, wobbling adorably while the bridge bounced softly beneath every tiny step. Halfway across, a playful breeze pushed the bubble away. Nibi stretched into a long jelly shape, reaching carefully before gently catching the bubble without letting it drift into the water below. Together they discovered a field filled with giant, colorful mushrooms. The bubble bounced between the mushroom caps while Nibi happily followed, leaping from one soft surface to another with growing confidence. One mushroom released glowing golden spores that floated like tiny stars. Nibi watched them with wide, amazed eyes before carefully spinning beneath them, creating a beautiful, sparkling dance in the air. The bubble drifted toward a tiny sleeping cloud resting close to the ground. Nibi tiptoed quietly, trying not to wake it, but accidentally bounced too high, causing the cloud to open one sleepy eye. The little cloud smiled warmly instead of feeling upset. It gently puffed a soft breeze that carried both Nibi and the bubble through the sky, like fluffy feathers floating peacefully together. As they floated above the meadow, Nibi spotted a lonely little seed resting on a floating leaf. Nibi carefully picked it up and hugged it with kindness, while the bubble glowed brighter beside the tiny friend. They gently planted the little seed beside the rainbow stream. Nibi sprinkled magical glowing drops of light onto the soil, and within moments a beautiful glowing flower slowly bloomed before their eyes. The flower released dozens of colorful floating bubbles that filled the sky with magical colors. Nibi joyfully bounced among them, touching each bubble gently without making any of them pop. One curious butterfly landed softly on Nibi's shiny head. Nibi froze with delight, crossing both tiny eyes upward to watch the butterfly, while trying very hard not to move at all. The butterfly happily flew in playful circles around Nibi before leading everyone toward a hidden crystal hill. The sparkling crystals reflected thousands of tiny rainbow lights across the peaceful landscape. Nibi gazed at the crystal reflections with amazement and discovered that every little movement created beautiful dancing lights. The bubble twirled happily while the entire hill shimmered like a magical dream. As the golden sun slowly began to set, the bubble floated gently back toward the meadow, where the adventure had first begun. Nibi smiled warmly, grateful for every joyful moment shared together. The bubble softly touched Nibi's forehead and transformed into a tiny glowing heart before disappearing into the evening sky. Gentle stars slowly appeared above, filling the world with peaceful, magical light. Nibi sat quietly beneath the glowing stars, happily watching fireflies dance through the cool night air. A gentle smile remained on the little face, while the peaceful world slowly became calm and quiet. Before drifting off to sleep, Nibi looked toward the audience with a cheerful wave. A tiny glowing star floated beside the smiling little friend, promising another magical adventure waiting in Nibi land.